guys. Please let me know if you can hear me. I'll be your commentator for a bit. I think we're waiting on Brandon Amin, so I'll take over for a bit. I think the game has already started, so see. This is stream on. Okay. Can someone say something in the chat if the stream is on? I'm not sure. It's working. All right, perfect. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm Andrew. Probably seen you before from previous streams. But yeah, we're waiting on Brandon Jacobson and Amin. So in the meantime, I'll go over what has transpired so far. So to recap, Anish won the first game with the black pieces, and players are going through a double round classical each day. So I think for me, Anish starting the classical with a win with black is huge, and so I predict his strategy will be to try to keep things solid, but obviously he has the white pieces, so he's still going to press. So he's chosen e4, and Hans is also very solid. He goes e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, and we have the Berlin defense, knight f6 from Hans. I believe Hans usually goes for the Berlin or some sort of Spanish after a6. So he chooses knight f6 in the first game with black to be extremely solid. So d3 from Anish, very topical line. Bishop c5, take castle. And I think it looks like Hans has gone into his first think of the game. So maybe he didn't really expect this line from Anish. There are a couple of moves that are reasonable for black. Pretty much all the moves defending the pawn. For example, bishop d6 or knight d7 or bishop g4 or queen e7. They all make sense and are all sort of acceptable. So yeah, let's see what players choose. So far, still in theory, so not much going on. So let's see. So 97 chosen from Hans is one of the main lines. And we'll see what Anish has up his sleeve. But meanwhile, how's everyone doing in chat? Are we feeling good ready for second classical game of the day? I know it's not the usual format for top level players, but in the U.S., most opens are conducted this way. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how Anish handles playing a second game in the day after a relatively short break. So yeah, I think for Hans, it's also against Anish specifically, it's 2 games a day might be advantageous in the sense that he has to face less preparation from Anish because yeah, Anish has to deal with 2 games. So Hans started wearing glasses. Let's see. Well, I think that's a Sigma move from Hans. Let's see if it pays off. And free Jacob Brandonson. He's innocent. Um, let's see what he says when he comes back. Hope we won't see Hans suffering again. Yeah, well, he right now is looks to be a bit out of focus, so hopefully he knows what he's doing. I read about 7. Well, the score I think in the blitz was 7, half, 4.5, and here Anish won the first classical game, so which counts as 3. So I believe the score should be tied right now. This guy sleep? Well, I don't know. Being around Hans, it doesn't seem that he sleeps at all. He has unlimited energy and willpower, and yeah, it's honestly very impressive. So, okay, so 97, we just played c3, and Hans is in the tank again. I think what makes sense here is you can play h6, but you can also play castle. I think, and after d4, bishop d6. So I think it looks like we're gonna get that on the board. So castles from Hans. d4 from Anish. So I'm expecting bishop d6. I mean, e takes d4. C takes d4. I feel like it's a bit too early to do this because white knight on b1 hasn't been developed yet. So this exchange allows the knight to come out of c3. So I am expecting bishop d6 from Hans. Yeah, someone's saying to fix the current score on the screen, and yeah, that's a good idea. See if I can tell the people who run the stream. Guys, if you're listening to me, can you update the score on the screen for the chat, please? Yeah, 3 points for classical, right? And Hans won the blitz by 3, so it should be tied up right now. Let the chess speak for itself, exactly. D4, Hans still thinking. This is a bit surprising to me. It kind of makes me think maybe the Spanish and some sort of martial is Hans's main repertoire, and it doesn't seem that he's that familiar in the Berlin. As Anish has chosen somewhat of a pretty, I think, mainstream line, and Hans is yeah, it's not a great sign that he's starting to think so early in the game. Just make sure I'm up to date here. Yeah, D4. Yeah, he's still thinking. Yeah, so Anish won the first game. And we're not in Utrecht. We're in an undisclosed location, but all that matters is that we're here right now, and hopefully Brandon will be joining me soon. And so will Amin. Yeah, Amin, not sure where he is, but hopefully he'll be joining soon. Okay. Yeah, actually, he just said that he's going to join soon, so that's a good sign. So d4, bishop d6, as expected from Hans, and bishop g5 is still theory, and yeah, I guess queen e8 should be the main move here. F6 also makes some sense, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what Hans chooses. Oh, nice shot. That's right. Okay, I'll go to YouTube. Hello, Brandon. Chat missed you.
Hello, guys.
It's a little boring start to the game, but hope we can keep the energy up for a bit. Amin will also be joining soon. But
Is that so? You've been on your own so far?
Yeah, so far.
Thank you, Angie, for carrying the stream.
No, only be here for like half an hour. So.
Do you have chat pulled up on your phone?
Yeah, they're asking me to look at Anish's chat as well.
I see. Okay, so what did I miss? Okay, not the most exciting game. Boring Berlin, yeah. Okay. So Andrew, do you know much about this one?
Yeah, it's one of the main lines. So a bit surprised Han's still thinking. I think f6 and queen e8 both make sense. But, yeah. We'll see.
I don't know. I mean, Andrew knows literally everything, so I'll let him comment on this. But
no, I don't.
I don't really know much about this kind of position.
I have no idea what's
I
going
think
on.
I probably looked at this a long time ago. It was bishop c3, d4 stuff, but I don't really remember anything.
How do you pull up chat on YouTube? I have no idea.
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know how to do that actually. We can do it on my computer if you want. But you can put it up on my computer.
Yeah, I guess we could switch screens for.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh well.
All right. Well, for now, we're stuck with you, Twitch. All right. Let's see the Twitch stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you went f6, Chad says.
Yes, bishop h4.
Bishop h4, queen e8. Okay. Yeah, so Hans, I guess right now he's on damage control, right? After last game. Probably trying to slow down a bit, just cleanly equalize, then at least get his foot back on, back in the game and see what happens. But I think this is pretty a little bit interesting to see what Anish prepped here. I don't really understand too much about the differences, the nuances in these positions. I'm sure Andrew does, but to me, every move kind of looks the same. Like, I guess I probably just go 92, but we'll see what Anish has up his sleeve. Yeah, he plays 92.
I found it a bit strange.
In all seriousness, could Brand speak with the V2 stuff? I'm sure everyone is interested. Well, yeah, I mean, what do you guys want me to say? Like, I've said everything that needs to be said, I think. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer, but I don't know what else there is for me to say at this point. Gotham will farm Hans for content. Hans keeps money flowing. Well, yeah, the thing is, Hans just needs to keep having decisive results. Like, even if he loses, he's still giving Levy money. So maybe that'll be Hans' motivation to make a bunch of boring draws. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so queen f7, well, very logical play from both sides. So Hans taking away this potential knight jump.
Also, guys, sorry if my voice is a little bit scratchy. I'm a little bit sick, so just a heads up. But we keep rolling, keep rolling. So yeah, queen f7 is very logical. Yeah, topping knight c4.
I guess questions what next for white. So I guess expanding on the queen side with a4 makes sense. Maybe queen e2 supporting the c4 jump on c4. There's many different options. Rook e1, just developing the rook. Maybe bishop g3 to pressurize the e5 pawn. A lot of different ways.
I'm curious if Hans is still in his prep or just kind of playing fast and making something up.
I mean, he spent like more than 6 minutes so far. So
Maybe he's playing on his own now. Yeah.
It looks like it, or maybe he's trying to recall, but he doesn't remember. He has like fuzzy details,
right,
of what's going on here. But the good thing is it's a sort of position where every move is sort of reasonable. Doesn't just change the valuation too much. So
right, definitely. Yeah, what is up with the cameras? It looks a little bit weird on the stream.
yeah. Can you pull up on your phone?
No, it's just a stream. It's not my phone is dead, but all right, it's okay.
I think it's
yeah, the camera is a little bit cut, right? But it should be okay.
or maybe I'm not sure if it's on our side.
Yeah, guys, can you see us okay? Brandon, thoughts on camera position? Not okay. Yeah, okay. I guess our mods will have to handle that. All right. Yeah. See, I'm not very technologically advanced, so I would never be able to set up a stream. But I guess our mods will handle that. Man, thoughts on Hall's interview yesterday. Do you guys think Magnus will show up to the match in Paris? Well, first of all, Magnus still has a match to play, right? He still has to play Arjun, and he did not win yet. But assuming he does win, I mean, I don't see a reason he would not play. Like, he wants to win the tournament. He wants to win the SEC. I mean, I find it very hard to believe he wouldn't show up. Yeah, I went with 2 cameras. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It's not we're not the ones in charge of that. So how the creating new dramas to be selected with Magnus is pure gold. Yeah. I mean, obviously, a bunch of theories have started that Magnus might throw against Arjun, but I highly doubt it. I think he just wants to win the event. I don't think he wants to mess around.
Yeah, so Nish has gone to the tank. It's his time to think, and yeah, I mean, this is a thing about this sort of Berlin structures where you take on c6. It's sort of difficult to analyze because the computer is always showing round equal, and both sides have a lot of moves that make sense. So it's hard to predict what your opponent's going to do. So it's more about understanding the position, although the position is very complex. So I think it's a difficult task for a player of any caliber. So queen f7. What do you think Anish is going to play here?
I think queen 2 is very natural, just aiming for knight c4.
So queen e2. Yeah, I mean, Hans could potentially fight this with either knight b6, controlling square, or b6, setting up bishop a6 in case of knight c4. Actually, like, b6 looks pretty good. B6 followed by a5 to take space, and bishop a6 next. So maybe that's why queen e2 isn't so smart. But well, otherwise, yeah. What else do you do with white?
Yeah, maybe bishop g3 or something normal. Right?
B3, yeah. Arguing this. So I guess now if b6 might have a problem, now the queen's on d1 or queen a4, putting the pawn and preparing some sort of jump on c4. For instance, knight c4 here works because if b5 you have knight d6. So
Oh, I missed chat. Sorry, guys. It was like glitching a little bit. But we see you're in Paris right now playing against Danya. I'd love to play a match against Danya. We'll see if we can arrange it. Hopefully, I'll be in Paris to play, but definitely at some point, I'd love to have a match against Danya.
and so yeah, bishop g3 there for Anish as Brandon predicted. So I think now, yeah, b6 is a bit hasty from Han. So maybe something like rook d8 makes sense. So if you take on e5 now, Black might be able to avoid taking on e5 with pawn, and this looks very normal. All of this.
Yeah, I do like that Hans is taking his time trying to find the accurate window opening. He's slowed down a bit. He's getting back into classical mode. I like that he is slowing down a bit. But yeah, Ricky is very logical, as Andrew pointed out. Seems pretty normal to me. Yeah, I guess Black, as long as you hold the center, you have two bishops long term, right? You can go b6, bishop b7 at some point. And White is trying to target the center, but yeah, as Andrew pointed out, this b6, bishop a6 is very, very annoying, stopping knight c4. So yeah, we'll see. I wonder if White can play something weird like rook e8, maybe like b3 or something. I don't know. Try to go knight c4.
Right.
I don't know if it makes any sense, but
let's see. So b3, try and go for knight c4. I guess first of all, b5 is probably not that great because of a4.
right.
So how would Black fight knight c4? Well, the thing is, I think knight c4, I can go back on f8, like bishop f8, and after d takes e5, b5 to regain the pawn. I could even play something like this, maybe. After a5, knight c4, just go back on f8, take some b5, and regain the pawn. And okay, it's still a very complex position. So,
who's in the audience? Is it random people or invited famous people? No. I'm pretty sure it's open for anybody. So anybody who's in Utrecht, I think, can go visit Hans and see the match.
I believe the tickets are free. So if you are in the Netherlands, you can go check it out in person, get a vibe, feel the energy in the room.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be interesting watching these two face off. I mean, at least personally, I probably find it a bit boring to go watch the classical, but at least the rap and the blitz, I would definitely watch. So
you should also tune into their little Twitter banter. So that's
or from your check first thing you hear when you join chat. Yeah, go visit the tournament. Seriously, I think it's free. Just go watch them, and it'll be very enlightening. I think. I'll put it that way.
Right, so rook a here is obviously the most natural move. I guess maybe king h8 also.
Guys, I gotta say, being around Hans is very inspiring because after I was around Hans, we had a nice little test lesson, some training. The next day, I immediately beat Prague in the rapid in Kazakhstan. So just one lesson with Hans, and immediately start playing better chess. So I think it's very enlightening to be around. So just being around him, watching his chess, his expressions, I think will have a great impact on you. I'm so shocked I didn't mute his mic. Shut him down after slamming chess.com. That way he really said what he wanted. No. Full credit to Danya for letting him speak. I think he did a very good job with that. He didn't. Maybe Danny mentioned on the phone yelling at him, but no, definitely full credit to Danya. Hans had mad aura for real. Exactly.
Yeah, so Hans still taking his time. As we said, rook a makes sense. I think a5 is the other move that probably is looking at just taking space. Maybe against a future b3, Black might be able to play his own a4 to open the a file for the rook. But I think the moves are all pretty similar right now.
Because as per usual, Andrew can cover the chess, and I can do the brain dead Twitch chat stuff. That I can do. Actual chess, that's not for me.
No, there's not much action going on right now. So Yeah, we'll try to.
Can Hans prep you for a dinner date? You know, he's. I think he can help. I think he can help. I think when he comes on the stream, you should ask him yourself. Who do you think has the edge in rapid, Anish or Hans? It's hard to say. That is a good question. I think it depends on form a lot. Like Hans does have this issue of playing too fast and rapid sometimes. Though, if he gets his pacing good, I think he can have a slight edge. But I don't know. I think they're very, very close in level. It's hard for me to say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are free seats. I'm fairly certain. You guys can confirm, but yeah. I think chess.com does not want to censor Hans. I think they're giving him a platform, which is very good. Even if a lot of what he says is kind of controversial, putting it that way. It's good he gets his opinion out there at least. Exactly, yeah. If they censored him, it would have been very, very bad for them. They wouldn't do that. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the Blitz are worth 1 point, the Rapid are worth 2 per game, Classical are worth 3 per win, as far as I know. So already technically right now the match is even because Hans was won by 3 in the Blitz, but Anish won the first Classical game. So I'm pretty sure they're an even score right now. Yes, they're all over the board. Yeah, I would love to play Danya over the board. Anytime, anywhere, bring a board, bring a set, anytime control. I'd love to. Danny Ranch is supposed to reply to Hans' interview. He's not happy. I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah, rookie from Hans, as expected. I think
Of course, Andrew just zones out and starts talking about the chess, but
the chess
take it
content.
away. Take it away. Take it away.
So rookie, as expected. I think I've been knowing Niche well enough. I don't think he's going to go for b3. It's a bit too Camille for him. I think he's going to start with rookie one and play the safe moves first before he has to make any decisions. Yeah, rookie one. I expect to be on the board from Anish.
Brandon, have you played Danya much over the board up to this point? Yeah, so I played Danya when I was 13, I think. And it was a very, very interesting game. I was better at some point. It was a complicated endgame, but he did trick me in the end, of course, as per usual, typical Danya. Besides that, we made kind of a boring draw in the US Open a few years ago. And yeah, but in terms of like blitz matches, I haven't really played it much at all. So it'd definitely be very, very interesting.
Thank you, Jack Sark, for a rate of 61. We're commentating on Hans's classical game right now. There's not much going on, but hopefully it gets up soon.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I was thinking about it, right? Like, I wonder. I mean, the games because over the board chess is very different than online chess, right? Online chess, people get tilted. It's very streaky. Over the board is kind of more serious. So, no, it'll be super fun. And he knows that I'm always down, so I'm pretty sure he is too. Yeah, so let's play Ricky 8. And so I wonder if Anish will go for my idea of B3. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm live.
Noon. Yes, we're live.
Hey guys,
Okay.
what's poppin'?
We've been waiting for you very patiently.
Mhm.
Andrew's been we've been having fun with chat.
We need some energy.
Yeah.
The position's not really giving us.
Yeah, how's it going,
So-
guys?
Good. It's nice to see you again. Yeah. We were missing you here in the hot seat. We needed some
Yeah,
wisdom.
Thank you.
Needed some wisdom.
Thank you.
I've just been talking
Berlin,
to chat mostly. Sorry.
Berlin, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty boring game so far. Not much is happening. So, kind of just talking to chat, having fun.
It's I like it. I like this approach from Hans's side.
Yeah.
I like this line a lot as black, honestly. 2 bishops. I also had good experiences I eliminated Yu and Gi in this line in the World Cup. So yeah, it's a good line. I like it as black.
Yeah, yeah, and I was just explaining also it's very nice sort of damage control by Hans, right? Just sort of cleanly equalize, have a nice solid game. Okay, if he makes a draw, great, and just come back strong tomorrow after, especially after the first game.
Well, it doesn't necessarily. Well, yeah, draw would be a great result for Hans. Obviously, it just has to slow down a bit. I'm saying like he's taking his time, which is great.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were thinking of what to kind of try with white here. I was thinking maybe we can play for some b3 and c4, but it's probably not much either.
Yeah. I think what also makes sense. A4 always makes sense to expand, or you can start with rook e1.
Well, I think this b3 makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Black usually
Also,
yeah, black
go
usually
ahead. Sorry.
play a5. A5 is a very very natural move.
Mhm.
Sometimes a4 if possible, and sometimes also black plays c5,
Yeah.
which is very interesting to just because if d then black is like kind of fine 95, and if not then for example, so yeah, so after c5, back then when Alpha Zero came, there were games between Alpha Zero and Stockfish, and Alpha Zero was beating Stockfish in like this structure after c5 d5 with black. So later on, the center was closed, game was closed, and then eventually black started pushing f5 and won the game. So yeah, c5 is definitely something to watch out. Same as a5. These are the main plans for black.
Right.
But
So I'm just curious, more like concretely after b3, what do you think black
yeah,
should
a5 I would say.
a5, right?
Yeah, that's also more.
Yeah, you're looking at something. And nice c4, maybe just.
Yeah. Also, we were looking at bishop f8 here. That's my idea. Taking b5. So recapture, and it's very interesting here. I believe.
I don't
Maybe
really
like
like
it.
it though. It's just wow, it's crazy. I never seen such thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, probably I would want to go b5 immediately after
Can
knight
I go on a
c4.
b3, b6? Yeah.
b3, b6. Yeah. Yeah.
So that
Knight
knight
c4.
c4 would be met by bishop
Bishop
a6.
a6. Yeah, yeah. Probably these positions are usually
No, this is
fully connected back as well. Rook a next. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
I'm curious about b6, rook e1 mainly.
b6, rook e1.
Yeah.
So I guess bishop a6 would be your move.
Oh, anyways.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe some queen c2. I don't know.
Queen c2. Yeah, queen c2 is usually a very common move. This type of position. For example, you could start with queen c2 here as well. I mean, kind of keep his options open. I think I was also thinking about some sort of like direct approach with knight h4, which
Yeah, that's also very typical.
with a knight f5 or something f4, it's definitely yes, wise to make some decisions here.
But in the game, Anish goes queen c2, so just sort of a
Oh,
slow
Anish
move.
played queen c2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's kind of following what I generally think he likes to do, which is make some sort of a lot of moves, keep his options open, and then later, only when he has to make committal decisions, then he'll do it. But otherwise, he'll try to make some typical safe moves for now.
Hmm. Well, I think a5
Yeah.
is screaming right now. I would
Yeah, no,
definitely.
a5 is screaming to be played. Yeah, just take space and expand.
Yeah, as let me pointed out, right? Like the only real plan for white is knight c4 that I see, and in general, if you take on d6, this kind of structure, right? Maybe Stockfish will like white with extra space, but yeah, Alpha Zero shows that long term black has a very good chance, especially with the bishop trap and g3 behind the wall, the classic great wall of China. So
Yeah.
Can black go c5 here?
C5.
c5 makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that would be my first thought. I guess white probably just leaves it, plays the move.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, but I think yeah, a5 is. Yeah, I don't see why Hans wouldn't play a5. It's just a generally useful move in case of any plan he sort of chooses. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked the niche would go knight h4, but partially because I think it's a good move, but also to fire up the game to make it more interesting. Because right now, yeah, it's kind of slow.
Yeah, but when does Anish ever want to make the game more interesting? Let's be honest here. No, I'm allowed to say that because we're streaming on his YouTube channel as well, so I'm allowed to say that. But yeah, no, H4 is very interesting too, I guess.
Queen C2. Hans taking his time.
Yeah, so not the most exciting position. I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, I assume Niche will just go like rook d1, and then kind of figure it out, depending on what
Well, yeah,
Hans does.
I don't. Okay, right now probably it's not very. It's not a very exciting position, but it has the potential to become
Yeah,
very
no,
exciting.
definitely.
Like my game, for example, is Yu and Gi. It got very messy at some point.
Mhm.
But right now, previous games Hans was blitzing out the moves, which were not very obvious. But now this A5 is just, as Andrew said, is screaming to be played.
Yeah.
It's just the common idea of this line. Like you almost always go A5, A4.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is that you should always be looking. You should always be careful about DE5. So, for example, DE5 after A5, how are you gonna recapture? Because
I was
FE,
thinking probably with the knight. Looks.
yeah.
Yeah,
So let's say
Fe knight G5. Right?
knight G5. Yes, exactly.
This will be a problem with the check on B3 coming in. So
Yeah. So
knight
knight
take.
G5. Let's say bishop E5. Can I take with bishop? So after FE, do I have knight G5 or it doesn't work?
Maybe queen H5, simply nothing. And king F8.
Check and then just king F8.
Yeah, it looks fine. Why?
Okay. So let's say then knight E5 after the.
Yeah,
Sorry, after
95. Probably take Fe again to keep this bishop close. And yeah, it looks very decent for black. So. Maybe this is what Hans is thinking about. A5, D takes C5. Although, to be fair, in the last move, Anish could have done this too. So I think Hans has this planned out.
I don't know. Knowing Hans, I feel like he probably plans on just taking on e5 with the bishop and the rook and not going Fe.
Really,
It is more Hans-esque.
bishop takes. Yeah, that's
He's
always-
going Fe and giving himself the isolated pawn for some dynamic possibilities. That's less Hans-like. I feel like this is more kind of standard. Yeah.
yeah, it's also reasonable.
I honestly like black after A5. I don't know about you guys, but I like black after A5.
Yeah. I mean, this sort of position, I think, the advantage of being black is that, yeah, the advantage of being black is that.
I mean, you would know.
Is that
What?
you have the two bishops and and
What?
you sort of put the onus on white to prove his his play in exchange for giving up his bishop and knight. So yeah, you kind of make natural moves with black, and then you sit back and ask what he's going to do.
Yeah.
So
No, because it's pretty straightforward. So after A5, my next move is gonna be either A4 or B6. Then,
yeah,
then I can consider C5. Then I can consider, bishop A6, bishop B7, C5 to put also put pressure on E4 as well.
yeah.
Because what is white's plan right now? I think eventually you have to consider it's either B3 knight C4 or eventually D at some point, right? I don't see them happening right now, so yeah, that's the reason why wouldn't I go A5.
This is good that Hans is finally taking his time.
Chess Lover says, "Good morning, future GMs, Brandon, Andrew, and me. Good
Yes.
morning. Good morning."
We're all aspiring chess players. So.
Just doing our best here. I guess honestly, knowing Hans, he plays quite fast. It's a bit surprising that
Well, to be honest,
A5 is on the board yet.
yes, but I also like the fact that he's spending his time, not just playing random moves quickly. He's just being a little careful, especially after the last game. So we've got a little bit of time to play A5. I think it's totally reasonable.
Yeah.
Come on, A5.
I guess maybe is Anish looking to play C4 ever?
That's a good question, but I think
Is that what he's thinking about? Before, I guess maybe just C5 is always good for black. You force D5 and
yeah,
then you,
exactly.
as
And
you said,
this is the
try
dream.
F5 later. Yeah. You can even play G5, Knight G6, H5, just take all this space on the king side. This looks very good for black. So, yeah. I'm not sure what the holdup is right now. A5. What do you think about?
Taking his time. Wow. Yeah,
I
go
mean,
on.
after A5, what do you think about the sort of A4 idea? Sort of okay.
Thing
Yes, you
is that
get
after
B6.
a4, so listen, so it, in my opinion, the pawn structure is really important here, and you should always have this long-term vision. So the thing is that, so let's say you go a4. In the future, let's say one day you take on e5, d5, knight e5. These pawn structures will be very weak long term, like this a4 pawn. You can never really go b3 ever. I always have these light squares like bishop e6. So whenever I go bishop e6, you usually like to play b3 when your pawn is on a2, like b3 c4 to close the diagonal. So whenever you go a4, then it becomes very hard to take on e5 and to
Right.
take basically anything for white. So usually a4 is not really recommended in these positions.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely good point. But on the other hand, black is really expanding with A4.
exactly.
Maybe.
Well, I think it should anyways be met by b3. So even after a4,
Maybe.
black is not threatening much. Like, probably some knight c4. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for example, pawns get something like this, which looks very good for black. So
I'm surprised. Hans got a very comfortable position.
yeah, it looks very comfortable, but I'm not. He's really taking his time, which I'm struggling to understand what other movies thinking about.
But I'm also a little bit confused where Anish was out of his prep, right? Because Hans made all very natural moves. I mean, I don't, because he started to think already on Queen C2. So I'm curious where his prep ended.
I think F6 Queen E8 is a bit strange. If I remember correctly, maybe Queen E7 is more to the point, but
So what is the difference?
don't ask me.
Okay.
I'm just trying to recall.
Sorry, I didn't get it. So queen e7 is weird here. I don't understand. No. Queen e8 is fine. I know.
Yeah, but I think maybe Queen E7 was. I don't. Something tells me that I saw it somewhere, but yeah, Queen E also looks fine.
I think we are still in the main line. So something
Yeah,
tells
it
me.
looks like still looks very normal, but
Check it
yeah,
out.
Hans is burning his time. Yeah,
He goes B6,
It's
not
fine.
A5.
B6.
If I b6.
That is really surprising to me.
No, I actually want to say between a5. So I thought there are three candidates moves. One is a5, the other b6, and then the other c5. All of them look fine to me. Like b6, let's say b3, now a5. Let's say I don't see the problem.
No, A5. But
Unless
yeah,
knight c4. Well, knight c4 can knight c4 be met by bishop a6 or no?
you got this sort of similar position. Probably
Looks
will be the case.
very holdable to me. Looks completely fine for black to me.
Yeah. Well, but I'm just a bit confused. If he plays B6 first, B3, and then A5, well, I guess why didn't he start with A5? I guess maybe after B6, B3, he wants to play Bishop A6 immediately. I'm not really sure why he started with B6, but I guess it doesn't matter too much. B6, okay.
Yeah, so I was right. It's the main line so far. I think we see to a5 being played by best Niemann and Anish himself in 2021. B6 though, also B6 has been played by late in G, for example. But yeah, all pretty standard.
I'll start with before.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm just a little bit like curious what Anish's idea was from this preparation. I mean, yeah, maybe he expected something else earlier. I don't know, but I'm just curious what he's what idea he had in mind going to the game.
So just so you guys know how important a5 is, wait. So can you like pull up a board or something like from the beginning? Yeah, just go back instead of like knight f6. Um, yeah, instead of Berlin. No, instead of just Berlin, I just go a6. So I had a game here, a6 against Yuengi. Bishop a4, knight f6, d3, The game was in a one-spin situation. I won the first game. Was the second game. Bishop c5. I played bishop c6, pawn takes, short castle, knight d7, c3, short castle, d4, bishop d6, bishop g5, f6, bishop h4, queen e8, knight d2, queen f7, bishop g3. So far, it's my game against Yuengi, and here I played a5.
Yeah.
So it shows like even though like it feels like I lost a tempo, but it's just such
Yeah.
an important move that you anyways have to play. So
Right,
yeah, I
right.
hope eventually, Hans plays a5 at some point because it's just very important to play a5. It's just the main plan.
Very good point. So b6 and b3 is on the board. I guess we'll see whether Hans plans to play bishop a6 immediately or a5 or maybe some other c5 move. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't expect bishop a6. I think either a5 or c5 will happen probably.
Bishop a6 is a bit unnatural to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Without pushing a5, going bishop a6 is a bit weird to me.
Yeah.
But c5, what happens after maybe knight c4?
All right, so let's see.
Yes, bishop
c5,
a6.
knight c4, bishop a6. Let's get the same sort of structure again.
Rook e1, let's say.
So why black has played c5, but rook e1.
Yeah, so I'm just knight f8 or something.
Now with the pawn
how do you
c5,
assess
maybe
this
third
position?
d5 possibly.
Does
why is
white
d5
play
dangerous?
d5 or white wants to keep the tension? Like, what's the idea here?
Yeah,
I don't
understand.
see white playing d5 almost ever.
Yeah, I don't understand why d5 would be dangerous. But,
Because I think black is better, honestly, after d5.
No, I agree. No, but probably, but also I don't really understand why black had any problems. Regardless, like, no, but I don't think white should take on d6. Then.
But again, I don't have a choice, right?
Okay, yeah, so probably not knight c4. Then. Probably just play rook e1 or rook d1 or something. I probably wouldn't play that rook to d1. I guess not much is happening anyway. But I mean, then f1, that e3 at some point we route that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, still not much is happening.
Yeah.
I think Anish knows what he's doing. I remember I was analyzing these positions, and Engine usually plays like this as well, like this queen c2, b3, knight c4 ideas, rook e1, later on knight f1,
So,
maybe.
so what is the point for white? How does white try to play for an advantage?
Just rook e1, knight c4. Sometimes if you can get knight e3, knight f5,
Yeah,
sometimes knight
that's what I was
h4.
saying. Really? So Hans thinks like Andrew apparently. Bishop a6 immediately.
Wow, bishop
Feels
a6.
really, really weird to me, but maybe it's okay too.
Well, I just predicted because he played b6 first, which tells me it's.
I see.
I guess there's some reason why he didn't play a5 to begin with. So.
But I'm trying to understand why a5 would not help black.
Yeah, I would ask that question too. I guess maybe he just doesn't even want to allow Anish to take on d6 potentially. And after rook e1, maybe his c5 is going to be his next move. And trying to get a square position again.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm really trying to understand why wouldn't he go a5.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess he wants to avoid knight
It's
c4
like,
immediately.
but I don't understand what that could potentially be.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it seems like he wants to avoid knight c4, knight d6, right? Again, if he started with a5, same kind of thing. I guess if white really wanted to, he could go b3, knight c4, and take. Not that that's dangerous, but maybe he wants to avoid that altogether. I'm not sure.
Rook e1 should come quickly from Anish. That's most natural.
Yeah, rook e1 is the move, 100%.
Yeah.
Unless Anish is considering something like c4.
c4, c5 probably, right?
Yeah. Yeah, probably. But then DE.
And now maybe you take, yeah?
how do we evaluate this position?
Mhm.
So how do we
But I
recapture?
probably could
With
still
pawn?
play
Yeah, I
similar.
would just take it with pawn and
Yeah.
go with some knight b8, knight c6.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh no, that's right.
D4. Yeah, now definitely black is doing well.
But I think D5.
I don't
No,
know. I would
no,
never be
never.
afraid of this. I would never be afraid of
You
this.
just go back bishop c8 or knight f8.
Can I be very concrete with white here?
Just bishop c8. Just bishop
And
c8.
I'll play F4. Just to
If I take,
take, and if G5, knight F5. So.
That's so tricky.
of course, Andrew thinks like this. This is how Andrew thinks all the time.
It
But
doesn't
maybe
look so
some knight
bad.
g6. How about knight g6 there?
Yeah, you can play knight G6. Okay, I'll take.
Attack with pawn.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know. It looks.
Then g5 maybe.
Yeah,
No, rook f1 I
G5.
don't like as of g5. Maybe either h4 or knight f3.
Yeah, H4 actually I like to move H4. Yeah, H4 is nice. Hey, bishop's kind of stupid, yeah.
But okay, I still find it
But
kind of hard to
again,
believe.
like maybe even
Even G5 here, like,
yeah,
it's hard to
exactly,
believe.
exactly.
It's very hard to believe for me. I don't know.
Yeah, g5 is great.
Like I cannot imagine White ever applying for anything here.
Mm.
Well, I remember Ali Reza had a game once against Andrek, and it was Word. I'm not sure if it
H4?
was Word Rapid or if it was Rapid or Blitz. So at some point, I was started playing like Rook E1, I think, Knight F1, Knight E3, and somehow like slowly outplayed Andrekian. So those positions are also playable as white, but I would just
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm expecting from Anish. Like this. But
no.
Andrew
I
is still.
after closing the center, that's what happened.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, but yeah, no, I would prefer black like all day long.
It doesn't look that clear to me. I like. I play yeah, exactly. Knight 1, knight 3.
Yeah, I'll go knight f8, knight f1, bishop c8. That's it.
Knight E3, I guess.
Yeah, knight g6.
Knight G6. To be honest, I don't understand why the Andrew doesn't say black is better, but yeah.
I have a
doesn't
feeling
look better to
black
me
is
for
better
black.
actually. Like, what can you do on the queen side?
I
A3,
don't
A5.
understand what White is ever doing. Yeah.
It's almost impossible to ever break through. I'm planning to play knight g4, knight f4.
I can play
Um,
this.
yeah, knight f4. Let's say.
Yeah. Mm. Hmm.
It's a lovely.
Well, you know that the computer has this like horizon effect, right, where it just doesn't understand that the position is close, far away. That's what Andrew thinks as well. He's literally a computer where he just doesn't like. He tries to calculate everything, every move. So.
I don't know. It doesn't.
No. So what did Anish play? Rook e1 for sure. Yeah.
Well, after G5, maybe concretely I'm fast enough here because your bishop's still on A6.
Okay, but I
Okay,
don't know.
that makes sense actually.
This actually looks good now. You're a bit slow on the king side. But if you're forced to do this, I might have time for this.
I find it very hard to believe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think C4 doesn't make too much sense. Like even there might even be this. I'm not sure. Takes and
Yeah,
D5.
exactly.
Some stuff just like this also looks pretty decent. So okay, so the rookie one, very natural. Yeah. So what's
I
next?
don't know. Just that bishop a6. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it has only one job to stop this knight c4. But
Yeah, but it does. Yeah, it does allow A4, A5. Like we were.
well, I'm not sure if a5 is really the plan here.
So what's next from Hans? Maybe C5, maybe Rook A D8, something.
Yeah, both make perfect sense. So, but what happens after c5? So the thing with c5 now, maybe I can take on e5 actually.
Take on E5 now.
So why don't we play simple? Yeah, like let's say
How do we capture?
I still don't understand what's wrong if you just take with the knight and the rook and just go like this. Bishop e5, rook e5. To me, it looks completely fine. The bishop can come back to b7 if you need.
Yeah, totally agree.
Maybe F4 somewhere. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'm honestly not too afraid because bishop come back to b7. We got this diagonal too at some point.
That shows why Berlin is such a great line. It's an amazing position against one of the best chess players in the world.
Yeah.
So c5. How do we play as white?
Maybe a white should just wait.
Yeah, just wait, rook b1 or something. That makes sense to me.
Ah, but here actually I can.
But everything we can capture on d4.
Yeah.
And then?
So like say ed4, I would go ed4.
ED4. Yeah, actually ED4 is good because you take it D3 or something.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. What else to do then? Maybe. A4.
To me, a4 is very hard to believe. Like,
No,
Yeah.
a4 is no way.
I'm not sure what to do with white at this moment. Just.
Okay, maybe play something slow, yeah, like f1. Same problem, maybe.
Yeah. ED. Also consider this way. This also looks like very good to purple. Also take this also.
Yeah, black also kind of just waiting over d8 or something.
Yeah.
There's no, not much.
now I
happening,
start
right?
to slowly like this bishop a6. I just can't find a move for white
Yeah.
that I like after c5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, it's very
everybody
hard to.
playing Berlin. So good for that.
Maybe I should start playing Berlin more.
Yeah. I remember I was preparing this line against Anish himself for Grand Prix. This Berlin bishop takes c6. I was gonna play Berlin against him. This bishop c6 line I was checking.
I guess hate on it, but what if I actually do play D5?
Okay, but now you're not even playing f4. Right?
Okay, and
Um,
no, it really doesn't look very bad to me.
but
At all.
but I'm trying to understand how can white ever win this game?
What do you mean? I can play like knight h4 somewhere, maybe knight f4, knight e3, or knight c4 somewhere. Like, and then I'll push a4 somewhere. I mean, it's not about like how I'm gonna win the game. Actually, I'm just playing and then seeing what happens.
Okay, so let's say so maybe I start with bishop c8 just to like.
Yeah, okay, I'll take.
Avoid
the
your-
knight
See,
c4.
I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to.
Yeah.
I like bishop c8. Can we just go g5?
Oh yeah. Sure. So then, do you want a4? Is that the point? Or?
I mean, yeah. I guess. I mean, also, I mean, this idea
It's
with
quite
I
a
wanted to
rich
go
position,
like,
though. Yeah.
it's not that bad to me at all.
Well, I see white outplaying black. Like knight c4, you play. So whenever I take on c4, then these light squares are pretty weak. F5 would be pretty difficult to play, and then eventually you can penetrate from, I don't know, maybe queen a4, queen c6 somehow, or get the knight to
Yeah.
f5, knight f1, knight. So yeah, I see how white can be better here, but yeah, maybe g5 is not the move. Maybe d5 is the way to play, honestly. Wow, but how do we proceed as black here? Because if bishop c8, I don't know, it's knight c4, then what are you gonna do?
Actually, maybe I actually like maybe rook f8. Let's try play f5.
I don't like f5. I don't see it happening.
Yeah. No, but black is not preparing f5, right?
Like just no. Why not? It's just a4. Let's go a4.
Yeah. Why is black playing f5?
I don't think it's bad. I'll put rook a in f5.
I really don't like f5.
I mean,
Or maybe g6 f5.
I don't believe in that at all.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I mean, let's say like a4 or something, right?
I would probably play rook a.
C4 never really works. No, right? C4 is really weird, I think.
Yeah, it looks good to my eyes, but I'm not sure.
So you want to go f5 now?
Yeah, or maybe g6 f5. I'm not sure which.
So let's say
Alright.
go c4 now. I want to go c4.
Okay. Say I played. I guess I'll go g6 then.
Okay, a5. You want to go b5 or
Okay, even if I just go
also
back,
take?
and I think it looks
Well, the
better.
engine is agreeing with you apparently, according to the eval bar. So
Yeah, these positions are really, really risky.
Andrew, with his genius
Because
idea, has
once black
pre-roll.
gets to play like this f5, like g6, then it's just game over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so after rook f8, yeah, I would play probably knight h4 with white. Stop this kind of thing. But g6. Hmm. Do I go switch back with rook f? Oh,
Oh, thanks,
oh my
alright.
goodness. That's not it. So I guess I go.
No, but-
f5 is always. What do you do with what actually?
Okay, so rook f8, we can definitely play smarter. Maybe knight c4.
I guess you can go knight c4, yeah. So the question is, should I take or not?
Probably not.
So if I, let's do the same. Just bring the rook over.
Maybe
Oh,
knight
maybe
e3.
knight e3, yeah.
That could be the idea.
Knight c4. So should I take it then, really? But now g5 is more reasonable, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Well, h4.
Although I can still do the same thing, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So what if I go
But even
knight
f5 here should
No, f5 is crazy to me.
crazy. Go g6 first. Yeah, rook e8 f5.
What if I go knight f1 then?
Right, knight f1. So g6 probably.
No,
Try to
but
play
then
the same way.
knight
Knight e3.
f5, yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, this g6 is a very nice plan. Okay. Yeah.
What do you do after rook f8?
Yeah. For those who are watching, I would never recommend you guys to play d5 in this position. Even if engine suggests this move. Just don't trust it.
But after c5 right now, I just don't know what Anish would do. But Hans is really in the tank right now.
Yeah. I wonder what Han is thinking of for so long. Also because c5 is a pretty obvious move, right? Like if not c5, what else is he gonna play?
Right.
Not too sure.
I'm good.
Okay, yeah, so it seems like Han's been thinking for a bit. We'll take a quick few minute break and then we'll be back and seeing how he proceeds. So
Yeah.
we'll be right
Hopefully
back.
by then he makes the move.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, guys, we're back. Hans played c5 after a long thing, and we should see how Anish is going to proceed, of course.
Yeah, so he does go c5. Yeah, I'm very curious, like, what he analyzed here, right? Like in general, how did he want to meet these kinds of positions after c5? I don't know. What do you expect to happen here?
Well, I think there are three choices here. One is to just avoid everything, just ignore it, just go rook d1, whatever. That's one choice, which I see it happening in case Anish want to be like extremely solid.
Right.
The other is d5, which I don't see Anish doing it at all. I don't see it happening. The third one is d.
Right.
Um, so d would be completely fine for black after 95, as we talked about it already.
Right.
I'm actually curious if black can be greedy and take with the pawn on e5. Not sure. Um,
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
but yeah, 95 is completely fine for black.
A minimum, yeah, safe for black. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I kind of feel like Anish would go rook d1.
Yeah, I agree with you here. I think he'll leave the tension. He'll go with the winners, something like this.
But the thing is that
But
what if after rook d1, I play also rook d8?
right.
What is the next move?
We'll eventually need to make a decision. Maybe he'll try like knight f1 or something.
But
But
now I think we can take on d4.
with c or
And a bishop b4, maybe.
yeah. No, definitely comfortable for black. The board's opening up with two bishops. Yeah, so that is true. At some point, Anish will need to make a decision on what to do in the center. So probably in that case, he'll take an e5 then maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but again, after de95, like
Yeah, there's not really much to play for.
what
here.
is white doing exactly? You can always put pressure on the e4 pawn with bishop b7. Just too easy for black. Honestly,
Yeah.
I see black's chances even more than white's.
No, I would already take black here. I totally agree with you on that.
It's very hard to see what's. Yeah, probably D is the way, and just trying to make a draw.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I'm really curious what was his preparation then, right? Because it's like all these fish are kind of similar. Even if black put a5 earlier as the top move, right? Like
No,
I
I don't
wonder
think
what.
there was some deep preparation or something like that. I think he just wanted to have a game and just play slowly. I know this line is not like it's nothing crazy. Maybe he mixed it up at some point, but yeah,
I
in
see.
general, it's just a game.
Yeah.
I really don't understand why this eval bar gives 0.3. I just
Yeah,
really
me neither. Maybe the computer misevaluates d5 because it thinks white takes the space and no, but it's not d5 though. Then it drops. Hmm. But yeah, maybe it's somewhere like I don't know. I don't quite understand. Hmm. It's something weird like knight h4 doesn't really make much sense either. Um, oh, what do you think?
what
Yeah, I'm curious why white the eval bar gives white an advantage here.
I think it's d5. I think it's
Yeah,
d5.
I think it's probably d5, but
Yeah, I think it's d5, and yeah, but I think black is better honestly
yeah, no, I
after
completely
d5.
agree with you. Yeah,
This whole idea with rook f8, rook e8, and then g6 f5 was just seemed great for black.
totally agree. Yeah, so probably initial will try to bail out somehow with DE5 somewhere, you think, right?
I think so. I think d5 is what Anish would do. He would
Yeah,
spend a
because like
little bit more, and he would probably just take on e5.
Right, because like we said, even if he goes rook d1 to try to keep the game going, like okay, maybe black has some ed4 or something, but at minimum you can go rook d8. It doesn't actually help white. Right? So doesn't really make much sense to play that either. And
I agree.
don't really see a lot of moves, so. But yeah, if you do take on e5 though, I think I already prefer black here though. Like, I mean, yeah. For
Wait, what did
example,
you
like
play?
he played rook ad1. Okay.
So yeah, I wonder why is it minus already?
Yeah, so maybe you can take on d4 somehow. So maybe ed like you suggested with this d3 trick. So cd, maybe take on g3 now. Okay, the computer hates that. So
Because
two
probably
is
he has queen c7 in the end.
that again?
So because probably after bishop g3, h g3, cd4, there's queen c7.
Yes, yes.
Um,
So what is the move for black here then? Maybe you just I guess you could just play something random like I don't know, rook,
some rook d8, you mean?
rook d8 or something. No, that's not it apparently. Maybe what
Oh,
is
I see, I see. It's cd4, bishop d6, d3 anyways.
ah
Yeah,
very
that's
nice.
crazy.
And if take and trap the queen.
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice
That's
idea. Yeah, so in that case, white would have to take
and what if
back
I have to
on.
see which is knight 94? Probably some knight e5,
Yeah, if you take
I
back on
guess.
d4, then probably simply knight e5 is good for black. You keep your two bishops,
Yeah.
avoid trading, and black is very
Uh,
comfortable.
uh-huh. Do you think Hans will? I don't think. I don't think there's any chance.
Very nice. Do you think you don't think he'll
I think
fold?
there's any chance to spot it. It's just very counterintuitive.
Yeah,
It's very weird.
because you don't really look for it unless you know that you have something. So
Well, in that case, you don't even have to take ED. Yeah, you can start with
yeah,
CD.
you can try with CD or whatever you want. Yeah. Yeah, so Hans actually is better here if you can find this, but I don't know. I don't expect it to happen. But we'll see. We'll see.
Also, with his mental state, I feel like he was to be solid, and
Right.
he would just play somewhere with it.
But we know Hans, he's ambitious at heart, so you never know. You never know what he might feel the moment. But yeah, no, it's hard to imagine him doing that. Also, yeah, it doesn't look like black should have something very concrete here. It feels like black can just play rotate or something simple and have a pretty nice position. So it's definitely unlikely. So let's say he does go rook d8. Again, probably Anish has to take an e5 then, right? Because okay, if you play knight f1 or something, again, same issue,
Yeah,
right?
CD
Take
bishop b4.
before, like we said.
Mhm.
So, and other than that, I don't really see a productive move for white.
Me neither. Because even if you want to go d5, for example, this rook d1 is such a useless move. Because
Right, exactly.
you want a for a5 at some point. Um, so you don't necessarily have to go rook a5, even though it might be just fine. The thing is that white had always this idea of pushing a for a5.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
rook is
exactly.
a lot more useful in the a file than
No,
d1.
definitely. Yeah, probably any move down, knight f8 or whatever. So, yeah, so rook d is definitely most likely. And maybe Anish will just wait and play some random move like h3, but I mean, again, black has this trick. Well,
Well, h3
I guess
now
it's,
ed.
yeah, now I have ed, yeah, yeah. So,
The thing
not
is that
smart.
so after h3 ed, so even in the previous move, I was wondering if bishop d6 actually is possible. Because if it take
Ah,
and then c4 maybe I don't know. A queen somewhere on
yeah,
this
let's
h3.
check previous move maybe, yeah. ed,
Yeah,
bishop d6, d3,
yeah, queen somewhere
queen,
on
maybe
maybe
b1,
b.
cd, and c4. But probably at minimum you can go knight e5 and it should be not much. You know?
Well, knight e5 I'll take.
Actually, that is true.
You take the d,
Yeah.
and then knight f1. How about bishop b7? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get to d5 so easily. Yeah. Although you're queen d3 still. Yeah, maybe it's a slight advantage. Okay, maybe black can play smarter then. So e take d3, queen b1, c4. But actually, what else should black do then? Yeah.
Well, you can start with cd.
Actually, that is true. Yeah, start with CD. Yeah, it's probably more accurate then. Yeah, definitely. Brandon looks different. Yeah, it's probably old age. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. I mean, it seems like he's a pleasant choice here because I don't really see what White is doing regardless, but do you think he'll spot this CD?
I don't think so. I don't think anyone in this world would spot it.
Yeah. Maybe Andrew, but nobody else.
Yeah, some people like Andrew. Yeah.
So if not CD, then does he have any other moves? Probably just rook d8, but I'm wondering what he's thinking about then for so long. Right? Because if we don't see this, then I guess we go rook d8 pretty fast. I'm curious what else he's considering. Maybe he can just play some random move like knight f8, you think? But it's probably too much, yeah.
It's actually pretty crazy. Hans is spending so much time. I mean, I feel
Right.
like the position is kind of easier than the first game. And in the first game he was playing very quickly, but in this game, even though the position is easier, he's spending so much time.
Yeah, that is a little bit weird, especially given how fast he played last game. I think he's just being ultra cautious to make sure he doesn't miss anything, trying to be super accurate. But no, it is just weird to me that he's spending so much time. But like for the CD idea, you either see it or you don't, right? So if he doesn't see it, then I'm curious what he's spending so much time on. Is that coming from your end, or? Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, I'm curious what he's thinking about. Oh, you played it? No way.
No way.
Maybe he wants to go like, yeah, maybe he wants to play like c5 here or something. Or...
C5 is insane. It's d5, I think. Or I'm misunderstanding maybe. C5, d5, and knight c4.
He played c5 right after I suggested it as well. What do you think about this?
What do you think the position? What do you think about the position after d5?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think this was that bad. Like maybe you can play. Like what if you just play like knight f8 or something? Okay, then it's bad. Maybe also b5. I was thinking about. I'm not sure. b5 a4, I guess. And then maybe you can take it and yes.
Take and go But take and go c4 maybe, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
but
try to
knight
see if
c4.
this works. Knight c4, yeah. And some bishop b4 garbage. Probably it's too much, but I'm curious. Like if I try taking c4, okay, computer approves actually. I want to take bishop
What?
b4, some activity like this. I was thinking.
So knight cd2 back.
And then knight c5.
Oh wow, just nice. Do you think that's his idea?
Maybe, but the bar suggests black might have another move here for d5. Maybe it's just glitching and it's not. Yeah, maybe it must be b5 though, right? Any other move knight c4 comes and black is not happy. Knight c4, a4. So no, it must be
So it's
b5.
very
Yeah, a4, b8. Very interesting way of playing. So he is playing for a win then. Like if he wanted to play solid, he can just go rook d8, but he is trying.
So how should white? No, I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. What if d5,
d, knight e5.
95?
Yeah, well, he does have
Yeah,
the d5 on the
on to take, and then
knight
maybe
f3 or
even I'm
something.
not sure. Knight c4.
Knight
Maybe knight
c4.
c4.
Yeah.
I think you just take honestly. Then you go
Maybe
rook
just
e.
take, yeah. Yeah, it should be okay for black. Maybe try knight f3 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but then rook e7.
7, yeah. Yeah, e5 just go bishop e7 is probably not much. Or maybe rook e8 too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it's not much for white anyway. I mean, you kind of just play this position if you want. Maybe play some random move like I don't know a4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably not much anyway. But very interesting way of playing by Hans. It's kind of, I mean, now he's forcing white to make a decision, right? And so, what do you think is happening here for d5, b5?
d5, b5. Yeah. I think now I like black, but only because of this like sequence after a4, ba, ba,
Right.
c6.
Like if we imagine he
Otherwise,
played.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Otherwise, if white gets to play knight c4, then a4, and then all this like knight e3, I don't know. It's
Right.
very nice.
A position like this, black
Um,
would be in super passive. Knight f2, maybe knight e3.
yeah. This is even you can take on d6, like, and then go knight d2, knight c4, and then f4.
Right.
Um,
Definitely playable. Yeah. Knight d2, f4 is coming. Black's pretty very passive here. But he's just in times his counterplay with b5. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
This is very
So that's
interesting. So
something Anish can miss, to be honest. Oh wait, Anish played. What did he play?
he took on e5. Okay. Took on
Yeah,
e5 super fast. Though. I guess he was afraid of this.
yeah, as I expected.
Yeah.
So how is he gonna play after 95?
Five. So probably to simplify something, not too exciting. Yeah, probably Nish will just take and play like some ace three or some random move and kind of maybe try to play this position, but yeah, it's really not much. How's the score tied now that Hans up after yesterday? Well, yes, the blitz counts for 1 point, the rapid counts for 2, and classical counts for 3 per game. So the classical is worth much more. I wonder how he'll try to play for an advantage here with white. Probably there's not much you can do, but we'll probably just take everything and then play slow. Maybe a4, h3 or something. And tried to argue that maybe he can use his
I was
king
thinking
side
maybe
to
some
argue.
bishop e5 and then knight c4. But what do you think about that? Bishop takes c5, and then knight c4. But yeah,
Probably, I mean, you can take on c4 at least. But probably can just take, right? Apparently this is bad.
oh, here I liked it because
Yeah, here PC and rook d5. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I thought you can just move the bishop like
Yeah, keep the
bishop
bishop.
c7. Yeah, and you're right.
Still okay. Yeah, it's kind of hard to suggest what to try. Maybe some stupid move like knight h4, but it's probably too much. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting though, but I do prefer like the position Hans would get without CD4. Like for example, let's say you played rook d8 and then white were to take on e5. I definitely prefer this one over what he got in the game because now like there isn't really any pressure in the c file. The position's relatively close, so black can, black's king side weakness doesn't really matter as much.
Mm-hmm.
With the center kind of more open, I think okay, probably Hans is still okay, but I think there's at least more of a chance Anish can try to play for a slight advantage here.
Possible, yeah, that's possible. But the thing is that usually in endgames that like Berlin endgame type, usually white has this 4 versus 3, and the queen side is considered like 3 versus 3, with the
Right.
double. So there is some potential risk that Hans probably wanted to avoid, and probably calculate this position, and he feels like it's just fine, which could
Yeah.
be just fine. Um, I mean, I don't think black really has any winning chances. I think this is going to be a draw. But also, I don't see how white can make any progress.
Right.
Um, instead of bishop e5, there should be something else. Oh, I think knight e5 has to be played.
Oh, 75.
Maybe knight f3.
Mm-hmm.
Then take, and then
Is it rook e7 or something?
yeah, and
Just play this
then
position maybe.
maybe can I go e5?
E5? Maybe. So let's take a rook e8.
Hmm. Uh, so let's say can I go rook d6? Just trying to just
Keep the initiative somehow, yeah.
yeah.
But I could probably go bishop b7 or something. Seems okay for black. Maybe try knight h4 or something. I don't know. But maybe too much.
I don't see it happening. I just
Yeah.
feel like it's yeah.
It's hard to imagine, yeah.
So what happened?
So
They
you
made,
took with the bishop. I was just thinking, okay, there's no way he goes to fe. This is bishop. But
yeah. No, I think he's gonna take back
he took. Um,
with knight. No, now he's gonna play
yeah, I
knight.
wonder if he'll go for your idea of knight c4, but it's also really, it's not really much you
Yeah,
can
the
do.
thing is that I also realized that after bishop c4, it's pretty nice for white. But if just black goes bishop c7, it's really nothing. Um,
I guess I'll just take on e5 here. Yeah, he does. But yeah, I feel they're just gonna agree to a draw soon, honestly. Yeah, he goes knight c4, but that kind of shows he's not playing for much.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, good for
Well, you don't
Hans.
necessarily also have to take on. You don't necessarily have to take on c4. I mean, you can, but
Go right back to e7 too.
you can just drop back to rook. Oh, you can't.
Peter hits this apparently.
Oh, because knight d6, knight
Oh,
f5.
d6, then f5. Yeah, yeah.
So what about rook e6?
But same thing, maybe. Knight.
Then I thought queen c7 maybe.
I wonder if I can play something cheeky like queen d2, and if rook d8 this knight b5 trick.
Wow. Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah, interesting. So yeah, so Hans probably has to take on c4.
Yeah.
What did you play? Yeah, he took it.
Yeah, so probably BC and then not too much happening, right? Just simply rook e8 or something. Yeah, probably they'll make a draw soon. So I mean, it's just good for Hans to sort of stabilize, get a safe position. Hopefully rest well tonight and come back strong tomorrow. But okay, of course this game's not over yet, but it is nice to sort of cleanly equalize out of the opening like this and not have to suffer again after the Marine game, especially. Yeah, queen c4. Okay, so he's not really playing for anything. But actually, I prefer black though. You can take your rook e8, right?
How do you make it draw as white?
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit curious. Why do you do this? So take rook e8, f3, f5, and what is the move? Maybe just rook.
I think just rook d7.
Rook d7, fe,
Rook a7.
rook a7, yeah. Just like this. Yeah, it feels a little bit weird to have to make a draw like this, but okay.
Super passive, but okay, it's a draw.
Yeah. No, okay. Clearly, Anish doesn't want to be there right now. He's probably tired from the first game too. He's just trying to make a draw as soon as possible.
Why is Hans thinking right now? Does he want to go to rook e8? Which I'm sure that is fine, but okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't see how that would help him. More draws, exactly. Yeah, I guess there's just one interesting moment where you can try taking d4 and playing for a slight advantage, maybe. But yeah, of course, it's very, very difficult. I don't think anybody would find this in d3. Like if we did do this in then 95, okay, maybe we'd have a slight chance. But I mean, even here, it's not like the game is over. Like I can play that f3 or something. Apparently, that's bad.
I mean, maybe some bishop
b4.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
So maybe I should go with that.
This is really, really nice for black.
Yeah, maybe I have to go to other net or something. But
maybe
yeah,
I had f5.
no. Knight f5, yeah. Maybe that's better.
Yeah, but with two bishops, it's really hard to imagine that things can go.
Right. Definitely very pleasant for black here. Yeah, so Hans missed a small chance here, but yeah, I think he can't really be too mad at himself for not seeing that. It's kind of because it's kind of random, right?
No, even if you see that, it's still fine. Like
yeah, exactly. And also, it kind of comes out of nowhere, right? You don't expect to see this. It's not like a common idea or anything, so
yeah,
kind of ridiculous to see this. So no, I think you should be happy with the game, the way this game went. He was never in any danger at all. This is the live position after queen c4. Yeah, so no good recovery from Hans with black. I think. Yeah, he needs to rest well and fight hard tomorrow with the white pieces. I think going to be his strategy.
And also, he's not down in the match, so
Right. No, he doesn't need to go crazy, especially given that he has rapid games ahead too. Like if he can even hold his own in the classical, I think that's totally fine for him.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's so hard to get a game with 1 against the Berlin.
Well, yeah. You see, Anish is one of the best prepared players in the world, and nothing.
Yep.
um,
Berlin is no fun for White.
Berlin's no fun. What is he really thinking about?
No, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
Well, I
Oh,
think
good
I know.
rookie. What did you think?
Well, I think I know what. So let's say Queen C4, BC4, Rook E8, F3,
Yeah.
F5, and then Rook D5. Can you be afraid of this?
Ah, I see. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Yeah, the point is that the pawn games are always dangerous for black because you can't make it past pawn so easily. A6 always been met with A4, and white's king can come in, and white has a pass pawn. Okay, computer says still draw apparently, but makes sense to be afraid of something like this. And of course, he has other moves here. You can play something like King F7 or whatever. It's all a draw, but so he definitely decides to rook E8 first.
Yeah,
Continues.
it's very safe. Rook 8 is also super safe. I don't see how it can go wrong ever.
Right.
From I mean, what do you do even as white? I guess F3, huh?
Mm-hmm. Maybe Hans can just go F5 here though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually still feels like white is the one who needs to be a little careful.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Totally
now I
agree.
should. Yeah, now I should go for rook D7 probably. Make a draw like this. Yeah, rook E8 is very precise. Yeah, they should agree to a draw soon. All right, chat. While they're playing out this boring end game, let's get some energy. Let's see some excitement in the chat because not really much is going on the chessboard here. So we
Maybe
need
some
chat's
questions from
entertainment.
chat.
We need chat entertainment right now. Come on, guys. Why are you making us sit here pretending like this boring endgame is exciting when there's nothing happening? Can we hear more about the legend of Visu? Well, I think we need to show respect to such a legend and not use his name in vain. And do you ever plan on streaming again? Streaming was fun. My only issue with it is just in order to do it as a full-time thing, and it's such a time investment. And like, for example, when I would stop for a little bit and go play tournaments, I would come back and lose basically all of my viewership. So for it to really be worth my time, I need to stream so much every single day that I really can't afford to right now. But definitely in the future, it would be fun.
Huh.
Talk to us about the interview, how you mentioned and the allegations. So I actually have not had a chance to watch the interview yet, but I know I was talked about and how I was banned without an explanation. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate Hans mentioning it and putting some pressure on them to actually explain to me what happened. But I mean, I think we all know that's probably not going to happen anytime soon or ever, and they're probably just going to keep me banned because they can do whatever they want. So that's where we stand right now
What was the final score in the match between you
against
guys?
Tanya. 140-29, I think. So it was pretty close, but I won by a bit.
So how long did it take? It was 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, we were playing during the night too. So I woke up from a nap at around maybe 10 p.m. I don't remember, and then we played throughout the whole night. I was like feeling great. I was like, oh, let me play some Blitz. Woke up from a nice nap, and then we went till like 6 a.m. maybe. So
Wow.
fun stuff.
So did you just create this account and just to play A4K3 and if
No,
everything's
no. So this was my sort of anonymous account I've had for a long time, but I never actually used it. Um, but yeah, I don't know because I don't know what made me actually start playing an anonymous account. I think honestly, it was a complete coincidence that I was playing on VSU. Like I could have played this on my main, but I think I just happened to be logged into that like on my phone because no, I was playing this match from my phone. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, there was a lot of like I don't know, it was like completely random. Like, and that's what's funny about it is that like obviously I was just playing Blitz on my phone and then half asleep in the middle of the night. Okay, I wasn't half asleep, but I was just playing in the middle of the night, and this whole time it's going like viral on Reddit, and I have no clue. And I'm just here, just like having fun playing K3, and then all of a sudden, like all this happens like out of nowhere. So it's pretty
Wow.
hilarious.
So Brandon, do you think it's more convenient to play from phone or from laptop?
So it goes both ways. So something I've noticed is, I mean, in general, like you focus better on a laptop. I think it feels more serious. But the advantage of the phone is that like there is a little bit of lag when you play from your app, and I think it helps you a little bit in time scrambles, like because like you get a little bit of lag competition, so you have slightly more time when like the clock kind of freezes. You have a little bit more thinking time, I think, in scrambles. So
Mm,
sometimes it helps, sometimes it hurts. I was just playing for my phone honestly because I was in my bed and I just woken up from a nap and I was too lazy to take out my computer. So that's literally the only reason. But in general, I prefer playing from a computer. I think it feels like I can focus much better. But obviously, it didn't really affect it that much. But
mm, I see. For me, it's very difficult to play from phone somehow. Like my speed is just not there with phone. I have much more speed with laptop. Whenever I play with phone, it's just for fun. But
yeah, I see.
more comfortable with laptop usually.
Yeah, for me it's usually pretty similar, but it just feels weird playing on my phone, so I try to play on my computer. But...
Yeah.
No, exactly. I was kind of just like messing around in the middle of the night, and then all of a sudden, like I get banned and I go viral on Reddit. So, pretty funny situation, but not so funny that I don't have an account anymore. The chess.com thing I was cheating. I have no idea why chess.com done it. I mean, okay. I mean, I think they thought I was cheating because they never seen something like this before, and they assume that there's no way it can happen. But I mean, as far as I know, they have not sent anything to me, so I have literally no idea. Is the match in Sharjah not happening anymore? I didn't know there was supposed to be a match in Sharjah.
Yeah, against Nihal, I believe, which got cancelled.
I
Why
see.
is Anish thinking for so long? I mean, I think
Yeah,
he
it's
was
very strange.
completely fine with draw, so I don't know. I don't know why he's spending so much time. It's just time to call it a day.
Yeah, I guess he's trying to see if he has anything to play for at all, but no, there's not going to be anything. I mean, Hans is already ready to play F5. Like, it's hard to imagine.
So Brandon, do you think I should start my streaming career?
It's a good question. I mean, I think you would be a good entertainer. I think you have a lot of
Yeah.
potential, but I don't know. It depends on your goals with chess, right? I think Twitch would love to see it, but I don't know. Do you feel like you have the mental capacity to interact with Twitch chat? Because It can be a little
I
bit.
don't know, it's a bit weird, honestly. Like sitting all day long on your laptop playing chess. In terms of chess, for example, we have players like Hikaru and I mean Hans himself. Hans also streams. But Hikaru, he started streaming and now he's playing good. So I don't know how would that affect chess. Really, I can't ever imagine though that it would be good for chess.
Right.
Uh, like you can be solving tactics and analyzing openings and do like studying endgames and everything rather than streaming. So I don't know. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it helps
Something that
Hikaru.
I have in back of my mind for sure. Something that I think about it. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, no, and I think being a streamer is about being an entertainer, not really about being a chess player. Like, I think the reason it helps Hikaru is just because he makes so much money that it takes some pressure off him for classical chess. I think that's the reason it helps him.
mm,
But in terms of chess itself, I don't think it really is super useful. But yeah, hey, if you ever are sick of playing classical chess, you can give it a try. I think you'd be pretty successful.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Guys, do you think Ami will be a good streamer? What do you think? Don't know how Hikaru can play that well talking to chat. Yeah, it's incredible. And what's amazing is that like I feel like he plays better while he's on stream. Like I play him in Blitz off stream sometimes, and it feels like he's not as motivated. Like he misses certain things that he doesn't usually miss on stream. It's really interesting. See, you have big fans in the chat. I mean, I think you should consider your career.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'll definitely, I'll definitely consider it. How much time do I have to invest to like per day?
So it depends. I mean, the thing is, it's always a slow start at first. That's the frustrating part. But once you build up your fan base and everything, it's you can be a lot more flexible with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to pressure perform from an audience on stream. It's embarrassing to blunder in front of 10, 15K viewers. Yeah, there's that. But I also think an aspect of it is like it helps you in Blitz to think less. So I almost feel like when he's fooling around and just like laughing with the chat and everything, like it makes him not overthink his instincts more. It helps him just kind of relax and trust himself.
Hmm.
So it's an interesting approach. Like don't the same thing that happened in this V2 match, right? Like it was the middle of the night. I just woke up from a nap. I was having fun and messing around, and it's like it just made me trust my instincts and play a lot more confidently. I think. Yeah, not very exciting position. And Anish is spending a lot of time for some reason. I'm not really sure what he's thinking
There's
about,
some
but
lag or something.
Hmm?
Is there like probably some transmission error? Uh, Why is it
I
taking so much?
mean, I can see them on the broadcast. He is thinking, like
Oh, okay.
he's focused. I'm not sure what he's thinking about, but
A fascinating position. Yeah. Why
yes,
wouldn't you,
truly,
spend like hours analyzing this position?
truly. No, and what's funny about it is that he played like bishop e5, knight e5, knight c4, queen c4 all quickly, but now he's thinking as if that was like the big
Yeah,
trap.
as it is. Yeah.
Is there less talent in chess? Well, there's that. It's hard to find strong opponents in lit chess, but also, I mean, there are a lot of all the big prize money tournaments around chess.com. Like, I've missed out on so much money. Like, if you think about like Bullet Championship, Title Tuesday, these rapid events, like all of the big prize events are on chess.com, which I'm not able
Yeah.
to play any of. Like, for example, Bullet Championship, I would almost certainly at least, qualify to, let's say, top 16, top 8, something like this.
Wow, really? What's your bullet rating?
I mean, bullet rating is kind of dumb. It kind of fluctuates, but I would say like, okay, better than me, obviously Magnus, Hikaru, Danya, Ali Reza, maybe Andrew Tang, Bortnik, and then there's like sort of a tier below that, and I think that's where I would be similar to like say maybe Min and Josh are like a little bit better than me. Um, but then after that, I think sort of like I'm right below that. And like for example, the qualifiers weren't too difficult because all the top guys got invited to the main event. So I'm pretty confident I would have qualified.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. to me, honestly, to me, I always found these tournaments like Bullet Brawl, for example, just a total waste of time for someone like me, because I tried it a couple of times, and suddenly like Dania comes and Nihal comes and Hikaru comes and they just destroy everybody.
Yeah,
So
bullet
basically,
brawl is
I feel like these tournament like Bullet Brawl is just for few players like Dania, Ali Reza, Magnus, Hikaru, for these guys. But they are like always top three, you know. It's just impossible to compete, at least for me, you know.
no, 100% agree with you. Like, and also the problem with bullet brawl is that like it feels like it goes by so fast that like I don't know, like you need to win so many games. Like the winners, yeah, when like Don or Caro, whoever wins, like they win the tournament losing like one game in like 2 hours. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's like impossible to compete.
so I think there's some update. They made some moves.
Ah, yeah, so after F5 happened,
Yeah.
so not much changed. Um, yeah, and just can go with the 70 wants to force a draw. You can also just trade first, probably. It's all similar.
I think the best way to play right now is honestly Rook D7.
Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah. Because if you do take and go rook d7, for example,
Rook E7, it's black is
yeah, black is definitely pushing here because you have the good structure of the queen side. So yeah, rook d7 is most straightforward, I think. Just trading all the pawns and making a draw. Yeah, Nisha's calculating how to find the quickest draw, exactly. But there's no rule about draw offers, I think, right? I'm pretty sure you just offer a draw whenever he wants.
well, probably it's not allowed before move 30. Um, what do you think about the idea of banning draw offers in chess?
Hmm. That would be very interesting. I've played yeah, this US Junior Championship. I've played this tournament where they don't allow draw offers ever. Um, yeah, it's definitely interesting. Although, like,
Because
obviously
in
the
other
players,
sports, there is no draw offer. In the
right?
middle of the game, like football, in the middle, you cannot be like, oh, I feel draw. Such thing doesn't
Yeah.
happen, right? I think
So the
chess is
thing is,
like one of the like only sports that we can like have draw offers. Like, you know,
yeah, and I guess
I
the
mean,
point
those
of
who
it,
wants to make draw, they can like, you know, they can find a way, of course. But like
right?
banning the idea, I actually kind of like the idea, just to fight till the end.
No, definitely. Like, I feel like the reason that they created draw offers was just to like avoid players playing out kind of stupid positions, right? Where like force them to repeat. But yeah, like you said, if you get to something stupid and off the color bishop, like you can always easily
Well,
repeat
you
three
can repeat.
times. Exactly. And like then people abuse this all the time and just take quick draws and move 15 all the time. So no, I agree. I
The
think that's a
point
great
is
idea. I
that
would,
sometimes, you know, you don't necessarily like draw offers are not only when there are like opposite color bishops or this type of positions.
right.
Sometimes people offer draw in a position which is, you know, there is still a lot of, you know, potential. Um, so
Yeah.
I like the idea to fight till the end, and
No, me too.
I think it should be considered in some tournaments.
Yeah, and somebody also said, yeah, in tournaments, if draws only worth 0 points and just using tiebreaks would be more exciting. Yeah, that's very interesting, right? Just like have a draw only count for rating, I guess, but then not for tournament standings, it counts as zero to encourage people to fight more.
Well, not zero, but like I would say they can count win more, like 3,
Yeah,
2.
yeah, sure. Yeah, like a win
That
would be
makes
worth
sense.
two. Maybe. Maybe, maybe putting 100 versus the rows. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah. Maybe a 0.25 or one to yeah, like 1 point for a draw, 3 points for a win. I think some Grand Chess Tour uses this format at some point.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know about this game, by the way, I have a feeling like Anish is seeing something after Rook D7 that he doesn't like.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, probably there's something that he's just scared of.
Maybe they're afraid of like
Because I'm sure, like, if Anish sees the forced draw, he would definitely go for it. But
Maybe he's afraid of some E3 or something.
some
I don't know.
E3 maybe.
But I don't know. It's hard to imagine.
Maybe just rook h3 perhaps.
It was pretty straightforward.
Not much is happening in this game for sure.
Yeah, so maybe we'll go to a break and then we'll come back and get in this game, and hopefully maybe we can get Hans on for an interview after this game, because then he'll be done for today. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So we'll be right back, guys. All right, and we're back. So, what's happening while we're gone? So, Anish took an F7. So yeah, we were discussing Rook D7. But he spent a long time on this, so I guess there was something he didn't like. Not really sure what.
So what happens?
What do
King
you think?
F7? What does he want to do?
Yeah. So what is his idea? I mean, I guess I can go Rook D7. I don't see what else.
Rook E7.
Yeah, but it's a little bit strange he did this, right? He's letting black screen. I mean, it should still not be much, of course, just King F2, but it's a little surprising to me. I don't know.
Hans is definitely not at the board, right? Because
Yeah, I mean, definitely Hans. There's nothing to worry about, but I guess there's not really much to do anyway because yeah, when king will come in, it's not really easy to make a pass pawn, so should be a draw anyway. But yeah, yeah, it's interesting they're taking so long. Though. I wonder what they're calculating. How does opponent body language and deep things affect your understanding of the position and something to give you hints? Oh, totally, definitely. Like sometimes, for example, I wonder whether they're not playing an obvious move. Then they'll sit there for a while, and then I'll realize like, oh, I have a resource against that I didn't even notice to begin with. So definitely does give you hints. And also, of course, the longer they think, the more you have to think on their time too. So definitely it helps.
so did Hans take on F7?
I mean, it looks like he's not at the board right now. Okay, so we took yeah, right to 7.
Yeah, here I think Hans can push a little bit, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he probably go for this Ricky 7. Take.
Well, I'm not sure if you want to take it with Rook. Why wouldn't you take it with King? Why wouldn't you take it with Rook?
Okay, yeah, that probably makes more sense.
So that maybe later on you can play King E6.
So I guess King F2, take,
And then King E6.
King 6. Yeah, it's a little bit weird that Anish went for this. I'm surprised.
Guys, you cannot really go to on a game. But okay, even
Right.
here, like let's say you go King E3, like
Yeah,
how
I mean,
do you
still.
ever break through? Like Rook D7, let's say I go Rook
Okay.
F4.
Right.
How do you want to do it? Maybe at some point you gotta go B5.
Mhm.
Um, maybe instead of Rook D7, just B5.
Yeah, probably. Maybe we'll play like D1 or something.
Then Rook C7
C7.
and Rook D5. Huh? Well, yeah. Well, Rook D1, I kind of like. Yeah, okay. Play this one. How is he gonna recapture? Is the question. Do you think Hans will try to press a bit, or is just?
I think it will. I think I'll try a little bit, but I don't know. It feels like Anish will have enough play. I'll go Rook D1 or Rook F1. I think we'll pretend to kind of try. We'll maybe play a few moves, but I think it'll fizzle out pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is a little bit weird that he didn't immediately simplify. I don't know what he didn't like there, but definitely unexpected. So we'll see. But It's interesting that they're finding ways of keeping the game going. I don't know. So not much has changed. I think we should still focus on the conversation of Amin's illustrious streaming career.
Yeah, you can jump to that. Uh, maybe we should. Okay, guys, ask some questions. Maybe we can read some questions from chat.
Guys, you literally have um, a top grandmaster and some clown commentating together. You guys can guess which one is which, and you're free to ask whatever questions you want. You should take advantage of this opportunity. What do you both do outside of chess? There is a life outside of chess. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Hard to interact with chat with no chat. I know that's the issue. We need chat. We need some entertainment here. Are you sub to gmhans.com? I am ashamed to answer that question that I'm not. But I think I should ask Hans for his free subscription. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Which players I look up to the most when I was young? That's a good question. Huh? And growing up in the U.S., I think I looked up to the
Hikaru, maybe?
talent talent in the older generation more. So, but not necessarily older. I think like um people like Jeffrey Young, Sam Savvy, and these top American kids who are a little bit older than I am. But when I was growing up, they were a few years older and much stronger than me. So definitely looked up to them. Look up to Kramnik, he's pretty tall. Yeah, of course, of course. How did the VSU drama conclude? I guess we'll see. No Bobby Fischer? I mean, I don't know. I guess look up to, I kind of see it more as like, okay, somebody I can become, right? Bobby Fischer, I don't know. I guess I wasn't thinking in terms of world champions. I was thinking more of in terms of people around me. Who wins the match between Gukesh and Ding? That's a good question. I mean, what do you think?
Um, it really, I think, depends on thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Gukesh is a fantastic chess player. I've played against him multiple times, and I have an immense respect for him. But I know Ding's A game, and I know also Gukesh's A game, and Ding's AM is, I think, clearly better than Gukesh's. So it really depends on Ding. I think if he just, I don't know what happened to him after the match, even before the match, something
Right.
has changed drastically. But if he gets back to where he was, like 2019, then he's an absolute beast. So I would say it really depends on Ding. But if not, which is actually very possible, then I would say Gukesh is the favorite.
Definitely. Totally agree with you there. Um, at least good for Ding at the World Rapid Team event we were just at. He seemed to be playing pretty decent, and having a good time. So hopefully it helps motivate him a little bit and
Mhm.
helps him relax and set him on the right track. Do I really think Han's gonna become world champion when Gukash Pragnoderbeck was so much higher rated at such a young age? I don't know. I think it'll be obviously very difficult. If you ask me blitz or rapid, I think he definitely has a good shot. In classical, that's another story.
Well, I think these days anyone can become world champion
That is
because
true. If Magnus is not playing, then
Magnus is not playing. Mm, I mean,
it's really
imagine
up for
if I,
grabs.
if I came to you and said like Gukesh is gonna become like 2 years ago, if I told you like Gukesh is gonna become world champion, what would you say?
Right.
You know?
No, that is true. I would not believe you.
Yeah. I think right now at this time anyone can become world champion, but it doesn't mean that
That is true.
that's never.
So they did agree
Oh
to a
wow.
draw.
Why it was such an interesting endgame. Why did they
I know.
accept it
But
for
why did they agree to a draw now and not like an hour ago. What were they doing there, sitting there? I'm wondering what they got out of that.
Yeah.
Please don't interrupt. No, we didn't intentionally abruptly end the stream before. I think it crashed at like an awkward time. So yeah, amazing, very exciting game as always. Hopefully we'll get Hans on for
Yeah,
an interview.
super exciting.
That would be great.
But I would say definitely a very high quality game. I'm happy to see that Hans bounced back like this. I mean, he didn't win, but I mean, like he played a very good game. So it's very good.
Right.
So will we get Hans for an interview?
Yeah, I guess our mods will see. Um, I wonder if we'll be there. So right now, I guess he's talking to Anish for a bit, so we can kind of chill for a few minutes, maybe. Can we have an interview on Anish as well? Ah, yeah, that would be great to have an interview both of them, right? If we could do that, that would be great. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, we'll see who wants to actually join us. Yeah, but if we
Yeah.
could get them to come on for a bit, that would be awesome. Do you think Hans is exhausted from yesterday? Yeah, no, definitely. He definitely is definitely not at his best today, but it's good that he stabilized with this solid draw with black. Truly one of the end games of all time. Exactly. Which part of Iran is Amin from?
Which part of Iran?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm from the capital, Tehran.
At least we're getting some non-chess questions. But...
Yeah, good, very good.
All right, mods. Are we getting them on? Do we know the situation?
No.
So I see Danny Ranger's response to the interview on Twitter. What do I think about it? So I saw his response on Twitter, but I didn't actually see the interview itself. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really feel like he said much content. It seemed like he was just giving a general, like, politically correct statement. I didn't really understand what his point was. If somebody could summarize for me, that would be nice. But I didn't really understand while I was reading it what he was actually saying. Ratings for GM Hanzo commentary was made for every level, every level. I think, I mean, I need subscriptions as well. If you're an ambitious player, I think that is the only website you'll ever need. Okay, he said Hans should not lie when he's stating are including against him. Okay. Um, but again, that's not really saying too much. I don't. Yeah, I think he was just making a sort of politically correct statement. I don't really think all that much happened. I know people are saying this is some huge drama, but I don't know. I don't really see what the big deal was. Okay, I will try to message Hans and get him on for an interview. So 1 minute. I'll call him up. Okay, no answer, but I mean, he probably just left the tournament hall, so I assume he doesn't have his phone yet. We'll see. Oh, they're taking photos. I don't know what they're doing.
I also texted him.
Okay.
It would have been great if we could get both of them.
Yeah, that would be great. Predictions for Magnus versus Arjun. I mean, of course, Magnus should win, but you never know. He's having an off day. I mean, it's interesting watching Arjun play this kind of format, right? Because he's been mostly focused on classical lately, but definitely gonna be an exciting match. We expect Magnus to win and withdraw. Yeah, exactly. Nepo thought a tough time last year. Yeah. No, Arjun is not somebody to mess around with. That's for sure. And Magnus will not drop out if he wins.
Do you think he might lose? I mean, there is no chance that he will lose intentionally. No?
No, he wouldn't lose intentionally. Like, I think he's more likely to withdraw than lose intentionally, or like claim that he got sick or something for the tournament. But I don't know. I find it very unlikely.
Yeah, okay, that's impossible. But do you think um, so? The chance that he plays is higher or lower than not
But
playing?
definitely higher. Definitely higher. I think. Like, I really don't think they'll throw the match away just to avoid Hans. I don't think. I don't think his ego would allow him to do that. So. With the Team WR chess team, like, what was the point of Giga stacking a powerhouse team like that just so they could steamroll every other team? Yeah, I think we're having the same question. But the thing is, we had very good chances against them. If we had a little bit more luck, I think it could have gone our way. There were a lot of matches that could have gone either way, but yeah, unfortunately, didn't go our
I
way.
mean, I'll
But
take responsibility for a part of it. I mean, I could have performed a lot better. At some point, it's just I was kind of unlucky in some of the games. I usually don't like to call it luck, but for example, against Artemiev, I had a winning position. Well, I wouldn't say
right,
winning, but it was a like very good winning chance, and that I just blundered. I just blundered a tactic, and that would have changed everything. Also against Vei was winning, and if I won
right,
that, he would have won the match. That would have been, that would have been huge. So yeah, but we had a good team. We had a very good team. It was just unfortunate that we didn't manage to win medal.
right. Yeah, and I think the part that was luck was that I just mean that like it's kind of unlucky that we all kind of had our bad moments in the same matchups. Like, for example, this one match against WR, right, where us, you, me, and Dardo all lost, and if things had gone a little better for any of us, we would have been able to at least tie the match. And then, of course, our amazing amateur board and our production manager for the stream. He was a real MVP. Really brought the team together. So huge shout out to him. But yeah, unfortunately, things didn't go our way. But there's next year. There's next year. I think next year we'll be able to steamroll WR. I believe.
So,
Somebody says, I mean, I love your game against Metal and Turkish League this year. So are we gonna get Hans? Mine is already starting in 30 minutes. Very interesting. Somebody asked, how can you describe your style?
How to?
How can you describe your style?
My style of chess?
I guess so.
Um, I think I'm a very universal player. I don't want to sound arrogant or something, but I think I'm pretty good at everything. Sometimes I have my low moments, um, which can be really low. Like I feel like my bad shape is like really bad, which I really have to work on it. Sometimes I make emotional decisions that can cost like so much rating, But definitely that's something that really I really suffered from in Ragnar Blitz. But in classical, I would say I'm pretty decent. Just a very universal player. I think I'm good at almost everything. Um, yeah, that's my style. And also, I think I'm very very good at attacking. Like when I get the attack, like to the king, I think I'm very good at. I think I'm very good at it. Yeah, it used to be my end game. I think back then when I was like 24, 2500, I used to beat everyone in end games. Um, but somehow I just don't feel it anymore. Maybe because I'm facing tougher opponents. But yeah, back then that was my strength. Now it's just like some attacking positions, I would say.
I see. I see. Who win games, right? What kind of player am I? I think for me, I'm a very intuitive player. I think my instincts are very good, but there are a lot of times in there are specific details, the calculation that I miss. Like I missed a certain resource from my opponent. Um, and I definitely need to work on that. Yeah, so right now we're just chat can keep asking questions, whatever you want. We're just waiting for Hans and Anish.
Any questions from me, chat?
Yeah, questions for Amin, or special guest, the real chess player here. How did it feel to cross 2700? I'm curious about the same thing. I would have no idea. So
um, it was special. I would say it was special for a couple days, but then I just got used to it. So now I just don't really care. Back then, I used to think it's very special, but trust me, it's you will get used to it.
I wish I had that
It's also
problem.
other ratings like 2500. When you're like 24 to cross 25, oh, I'm 2500. But after some time, it's normal. Same with 2600. Okay, 2700, I understand. It's a bit special, like people will call you super grandmaster. But yeah, now I just got used to it. I just kind of got used to it. But at the beginning, it was very special, for sure.
What is your current rating goal in classical?
Okay, I think Hans is jumping on.
I don't really. It's actually pretty interesting. I don't really check my rating. I just don't care. Um, so I don't really care much. But now I think it's 2712 or 13. I'm not sure because I actually haven't checked. I just heard from people it's either 2712 or 2713.
Was there something specific that really boosted your chess game?
Sorry, say again.
Was there something specific that really boosted your chess game?
That's a good question. I actually don't know. Maybe a lot of training games and a lot of calculation helped me, and plus experience. I got more rational in. Okay, oh, we have Hans. Oh, okay.
Yes. Hello, Hans.
You guys can hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you, but
Yeah.
we cannot see you
Berlin
yet.
strikes again, eh?
Bernie strikes again. Yeah.
Bernie strikes again.
How was the game, Hans?
I don't know. It felt normal. Anything interesting that I should know with the game?
Just 1 second, Hans. We're putting your beautiful face
Okay,
up on your
okay.
screen.
I'm so tired. Oh my! My eyes were closing during the game. I could literally
that's what
feel
it
my
felt
eye.
like.
I know my eyes were. I had to fight to keep my eyes open. Even now, you see my eyes are like barely. you know when it's like your eyes just want to close, but you have to
Yeah.
like keep like you can see that like my